There is a lot happening in the world of politics. Our political editor, Andrew Clennell, is with me. Andrew, it looks like the countdown is on to this challenge.
Yeah, the plotters want to go Friday, call it Thursday for Friday, so after Parliament rises, but there's pressure on them to go earlier if Angus Taylor wants it. And Alex Hawke and Sussan Ley look like comical Ali at the moment, don't they? Let's have a look at the Newspoll again. Figures I never thought I'd see in my lifetime, Kieran. 18 for the coalition. 18. You and I have sat here and talked about Labor being at 32, 33, 34. What a dire situation that is for Labor. Coalition are at 18. What does Sussan Ley need to do to lose her job? And she can blame the coalition split. She can blame whatever she likes. You know, she can blame the man in the moon. Ultimately, she's the leader and she's in charge. And One Nation, 27. Basically replacing the coalition as the opposition party in Australia. Now, in the Newspoll, they didn't do a 2PP. If they did, probably 55-45 to One Nation. Ever think about that? This is the kingmaker I'm about to show you. James Patterson. He's doing the numbers for Angus Taylor. He's running the show. He'll be promoted, no doubt, if Angus Taylor gets up. And here's his meeting where he told Andrew Hastie, sorry, mate, the right candidate is Angus Taylor, not you. And a lot of people out there, even though Hastie's a bit green, wonder if he's not more the person you want to tackle that One Nation threat. But the question is, there will be a challenge this week. That's what I reported last hour. I'm reporting to you now, Kieran. There will be a challenge this week. Angus Taylor will challenge this week. Multiple sources have told me that. If he doesn't, we know he doesn't have the numbers, which means he'll never challenge, which means he can hand over to Andrew Hastie. The question is, what day this week? Now, the senators are in Senate estimates tomorrow. So there's a party room tomorrow. The feeling is that people wouldn't like to see a challenge then. But you can't always choose your timing, can you, Kieran? I mean, just before we came on air, you said, well, what kind of a week's it going to be for them if they wait till Friday? And, yeah, you could say, well, they just have to weather the week, but it's going to be an absolute shocker. It's going to be a bad look. Power's there to be seized. I say if he's going to go, he should go sooner rather than later. And that number's the game changer. That Newspoll, as polls often are over the years, Kieran's been here, covered all of the leadership spills. It's called the iron laws of arithmetic, isn't it?
It is indeed. It was the great phrase of John Howard. He said that politics, was the quote that I always associate with him, where he said politics is governed by the iron laws of arithmetic, absolutely. And when you've got the numbers, you use them, basically. That's the bottom line.
Yeah,
well, they always
otherwise
do.
You don't, do you?
Yeah.
And, Angus Taylor apparently doesn't want to do rush out to a question time after becoming leader. Well, I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, if you want to be leader, you want to be leader tomorrow. You want to be leader today. John Howard did, Bob Hawke did, Paul Keating did. Timing, that's the pressure on Angus Taylor and his plotters now. It's like, come on. You want it to be nice and cosy on Friday? Get out there and do it. Take on the job. And, rolling the first female Liberal leader is no small thing. It's a big deal. But that Newspoll gives you licence to do it, doesn't it, Kieran? Because, I mean, you can argue the toss. You can even argue whether Angus Taylor would improve the situation. And he'd be in trouble if he didn't. But she couldn't keep the coalition together. That's job number one. And now she's basically threatening. Her leadership is an existential threat to the Liberal Party and the coalition. There's no, as the main opposition party in Australia at the moment, there's no other way to read that poll. You can't spin that poll. It's game over for Sussan Ley. If it's not, Angus Taylor will never be leader, ever. You cannot get a bigger impetus for a leadership change than that poll.
Yeah, it looks like there's an inevitability about it. Just to pick up on something, where you mentioned the James Patterson role in there. So I've also been told not only did he say to Andrew Hastie, now's not your time, it's Angus Taylor's time, but also that he also played in, it's state politics, this, but Jess Wilson in ushering her into that role as well, that he and his wife, who was a senior official in Victorian Liberal Party, that they played a key role in that. So he's going through a phase, James Patterson, of really dictating and being a puppet master behind the scenes for some pretty big moves for the Liberal Party.
A faceless man with a face.
Yeah, indeed.
And You know, I think people in the Hastie camp are wondering how Liam Mendes ended up at that location. I mean, it's been put out there that he tailed Andrew Hastie, but I'm told that would be quite a neat trick given the movements of Andrew Hastie that morning. So, anyway, I'll just leave that out there. There are some who are not that happy with James Patterson at the moment. I'll also indicate that because he's smiling in that photo, which occurred on the day of Katie Allen's funeral. Why is he smiling? He's probably smiling because he knows that he looks like the kingmaker. You know, Alex Hawke, who you just had on, was the queenmaker. James Patterson's about to become a seriously important person in any sort of leadership change. And look, he does front up. He has performed on television. You know, my anecdote I like to tell, my 12-year-old son knows who James Patterson is because he sees him on air so often, but he doesn't know who Josh Frydenberg is. I thought I'd tell that one for Josh Frydenberg's benefit. I'm sure he's stoked about that. But I think it shows, you know, he does the work. And sometimes his colleagues make fun of him because he goes on camera so much. We love that at Sky, obviously. But he's done the work. He's got the profile. He does the policy work. He does the opposition work.
A bit like
now, it seems he does the power broking work.
To me, in every respect of how you just characterised him, it evokes to me, without the accent, but Matthias Cormann.
Ah, very good point.
Someone with a visibility.
Right. That's what he's trying to be. Let's put it that way. He's got a ways to go.
But that visibility, he was always out there.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, spot on. That's what he's trying to be, isn't he?
Yeah, indeed.
And look, Matthias, he was a powerful figure. He got a long way to go to get there, especially where the Liberals are. But, yeah, it's quite apparent that's what he's aiming for. Good point, Kieran.
Thank you, Andrew. Great to chat. It's a big day.